Hi, welcome back. So I thought we would do a little bit of a different class today because I like to change things up. We are going to go through the text, but I'd like to do a little bit of, because we're working on this section of choosing meditation objects in the Lam Rim, that I thought it would be nice to do a little bit of meditation to practice them. So we can actually get a kind of feeling of, well, does that meditation object resonate for me or not? So we're going to do this, but we're going to review a little bit from last class, and then we'll just start it into this. Let me share my screen. All right. We already did these last two lines, but we're going to do them again. So let's see here. Who would like to read? How about Violet? I don't think you've ever read before. Okay, maybe she doesn't want to read. How about this? I love how everyone turns off their cameras last second here. Christine, haven't seen you in a while. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I
Great.
didn't have the seats to come. I'm sorry.
Well, you're here now.
Yes, I am. I'm trying every week, but sometimes it doesn't work out. Okay, so I don't know, Sai boy.
Not even close.
Thank you.
Chi boy.
Chi boy, lama, la ma, shakya chup, pa te so tam. Oh, I can't see it. I'm sorry. To move you. Chick. She des min cham ki ta da tebe ta yang rum du chukpala.
Good. So we're talking about meditation objects. I know it's hard to read. Good job. Just thank you for putting yourself out there. So we're talking about how to choose meditation objects. So first, Chiwi Lama. So we imagine our Lama at the tip of our head. Okay. So we kind of imagine like a little tiny Lama sitting here. Okay. Our very own Lama. And then Lama Shakya Tupa. So that would be Shakyamuni Buddha himself, like the Buddha in this world. Splits off from the first one. So basically, you have a little Lama up here, and then bloop, another one comes out. Shakyamuni comes out, no larger than a thumbnail. So basically, like little Lama on your head, little Buddha Lama comes out, boop, and they split into two. And then Shakyamuni Buddha comes down in front of you. So either you put them kind of like between your forehead about right here, kind of in front of you, or you could bring him down and facing your navel chakra. Okay. have him kind of situated there. So you kind of have two options, right in front of you or like down lower. Now this is this next. So basically, those are a couple options you have. Typically, we have in our lineage. Typically, we just imagine the Buddha or your teacher sitting in front of you, sitting knee to knee in meditation. That's mainly what that is. Okay, but this is a different way to visualize it. Or this next line. How about Marina?
Mik pa yanarang shak tupto gyurpala mimpatan.
Cool. So you can either choose Mikpa as the object, and you can either choose him sitting there that way, or you can see yourself becoming or see yourself as Shakyamuni Buddha. Okay. So it's kind of cool. We have several options here. You can have your teacher in your head. The Buddha splits off because their essence is the same. The Buddha comes down, kind of is aligned with if you would consider your Ajna chakra, like your third eye, or you could have him kind of lower, kind of facing your navel chakra. And there's special meanings for that, which you'll learn later. Or another option here, right, is that you can just see yourself as being Shakyamuni Buddha yourself, right? You can see it, you can have either of those two objects, or you could just sit there in meditation and see yourself as Buddha yourself, which is kind of cool. So we're going to do it right now. We're going to practice it because I think it's important that we actually practice these things and not just read about them. So the whole point of practicing these we're going to have 2 or 3 meditations today. The point of practicing all of them are we'll get the advices later. Well, I'll tell you about that later. A visual for the Buddha that I use. That's a good question, Jackie. I have lots of I don't want to tell you what you should use. I suggest a couple things. Maybe look online for various pictures of the Buddha and see which one you like, which one resonates with you. And I think that will help because it's really what is attractive to you. And there's so many different types of Buddhas. Like this is just saying Shakyamuni Buddha, but you can pretty much choose any Buddha that you like. You could choose Tara, you can choose Vajrayogini, you could choose Manjushri or Maitreya or any of them that resonate with you. Okay. So if you have a feeling about a particular image, I would stick with that because there's probably a karmic connection. Oh man, you guys are asking me all the questions. So the question here is like, oh, what if I don't have visuals in my head? Okay. Perfect. Then how would it feel to have a Buddha in your head? Like, what would it feel like to be sitting with a Buddha? Okay. But do try, It's just black. That's interesting. I don't know what that's like. So it's hard for me to, I've heard advices, but I don't know what that's like. Literally, that's cool. So when you close your eyes, do you dream? Can you see images when you dream? Wow, that's cool. All right, this is a good thing. So if you have a difficulty visualizing, try to feel. So like when I say see your lama on your head, feel a little tiny llama sitting on your head. Same thing. Cool. All right, let's close our eyes. And come to your breath. Notice the sensations of your breath in your body. And just to settle ourselves in, we're going to count 25 breaths, starting with the exhale and the inhale. Now, visualize or feel the presence of your teacher. And then see a small version of them. Feel them sitting on the top of your head, just lightly, bringing blessings to you. And as their essence is of the Buddha, see the Buddha separate from them, same size, and come in front of you. And then line up with your Ajna chakra right in the middle of your forehead. See all the details of them, but mainly see their loving eyes looking back at you. Feel their presence, feel their love. And have them float down a little bit lower so they're aligned with their Manipura chakra. right around your navel. Notice if it feels different to have them lower than it does to have them up higher. Now have them float back up and merge back with the Lama at the tip of your head. And then feel that Lama maybe like turning to a golden honey, melting down from the tip of your head into your heart. And then once they reach your heart, see or feel a golden light shine from their heart, filling up your entire body. And as it fills your entire body, you yourself become an enlightened being. You yourself become that Buddha. All of your impurities, all of your obstacles, all of your negative emotions vanish in this transformation. feel the presence of yourself as a Buddha. And come back to your breath. Take 3 long exhales. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and take a stretch. All right. Okay, so that's one kind of meditation object, and there's several of those in there. And if any of those resonated with you, you can choose one or you can choose all of them. The whole point of the different objects is how to develop shamatha. That's the whole point. But using a kind of virtuous object. So let's keep going. What else does Pabon Rinpoche have to say here? All right. Young Kung. Let's have Persis. You need to turn on your microphone. There you go.
You cannot. Thank you. Yang kê sạc cả xin là tím thẹn
Pick 10.
miếng
Pick
miếng
10.
thẹn sụp chán lá sụp mẹ cha
Chart. Hmm?
cha tê quấy tê hoa
Hmm?
cha tê hoa chuột quấy tê
Hmm?
trả tạc ký ní Geshe Lam Rim Chung Gyo
Nui.
Nui Nui
It's nasal. Nui. It's like in your nose.
Nui con ba con ba phẳng chen chọ kêu ký rọ che ba.
Nice. So here we go. There are other practitioners, right? Kangsak, and other people. There are other kinds of practitioners who find it easier to have an object which is sukme. Sukme means formless, but things that are less affable, like ineffable, like formless, doesn't have shape. Maybe like Kristen might find this easier versus sukcheng, which means form, like concrete. Okay. So some types of minds, and there's not one that's better than the other. It's just mind tendencies and things that minds can do, and some can and can't do it. So it's not a judgment, but some find it easier to have more of a formless style object versus a concrete object. All right. And if you're someone like this, Dejradaki ni, you might prefer the system of the Panchen. Who's the Panchen? The first Panchen Lama, Chukyen, Lobsang Chukyi Gelsen, who's following the word, like the nice thing here, Sulche, following the system of thought of, or that's presented in, how about to say that, steps of the path of Jay Rinpoche. Okay. That's me translating on the fly here. So there's some people who prefer formless objects versus formed objects. And if you're one of those people, you might want to follow the system of the first Panchen Lama, who's following the system of Jay Rinpoche, Lobsang Jason Kappa, as presented in the shorter Lam Rim Chungyu. Okay. So there are other objects that we can get to. What are they? Let's keep reading. How about she's not interpreting today. I haven't heard her speak. Eka, how about you? Or are you interpreting?
I'm interpreting.
Oh, I see. It's actually hidden under my things. I'm sorry. I think what all of you want to do, if you don't want to read, just put the word INT in front of your name and you can get out of it. That's why they sign up to interpret my class, so they don't have to read out loud.
Что вы переводчик. Я не буду.
Can please read.
Whoa, what happened?
Eka, please
Что
read.
случилось? I can read? Okay, no worries.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Garden chagya chempoi trila semla.
Hey, lele.
Lele trile semla mikpe shine truptsu sungpa taja chokching deni truptesh trupta shen shen chok kisem go tawa dankchop tsung
Semno tawa.
semgo tawa dank chok tsung.
Nice. Good job. Thank you. Okay, so sorry, I'm just making sure I have this correct here. It's interesting because I have it written in front of me. Okay, cool. So there are some instructions, tree, known as the Great Seal, Chakya. Chakya also can mean Mahamudra. Great Chakya Chenpo. Okay, Chakya is mudra. Chenpo is great. So Mahamudra. Chakya is a special word, Yeshaki Chakya and Leki Chakya. We'll learn about that later. this version of it, the mudra, Chakya, Ganden, the heaven of bliss. All right. So there's instructions of Mahamudra, whose object is the mind. Mikpa Sem. Semla Mikpa. So we're using specifically the mind as a way to achieve Shine. So you use the mind to make the object, you use the mind as the object of the mind. How about that? All right. Does anyone know what a drupta is? It comes from Ben's book, original book. It means siddhanta, like system of thought. There are other systems of thought, right, that use the essence of the mind as the object. Okay. So what he's saying is that there's many meditation systems that use Mahamudra use the mind as an object. And there's a particular set of meditations called Mahamudra where you use the mind as the object itself. And we're going to do that right now. I have a particularly interesting Mahamudra meditation for you all. Okay, so let's get in meditation once again. So come back to your breath, and we're just going to do 10 exhales and inhales to reset our mind. So now we're simply going to observe our thoughts. Not the content of the thoughts, but we're going to observe if the thought is in the present moment, if the thought is in the past, or if the thought is about the future. So every few moments, like a scorecard, just say, oh, I'm thinking about the future. Or, oh, I'm thinking about the past. Or if you're in the present moment. Are you in the past, present, or future? Where are you right now, past, present, or future? Notice where you are now. And then return back to your breath. Taking 3 long exhales. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So how many people were in the present? More of all of them, were you more in the present? How many people were more in the past? How many people were in the future? There's no right place to have been, okay? You know, but it's just noticing, it's noticing what your mind is doing categorically. So, and it's not about judging, it's about just noticing. So in the end of it, it can be a really powerful object because you always have it, right? You always have the mind. You know, just beginning to notice what your mind is doing. So that's another way to look at that. All right. Here's some more objects for you. Yay. Let's have Jackie read.
Yang said Ram Dong
K Rim.
K Ram K Ram Dong Frog Na La Su Dong
Aku. Aku.
Su Dong Do
Sokrim.
Sokrim Dong Rong Na La Song La Migna Yang
Yang.
Groove to Zung. No?
No, no, just kidding. Good job. I know it's hard. Good job. It all comes very easily afterwards. All right. This is a very auspicious line that you got to read, Jackie. Why? So we're talking about Vajrayana practices. We're talking about Krim and we're talking about Sokrim. So this line mainly says, once you've arrived at this, once the time has come, once the time has come in your practice, Kyungdrup, there's 2 different objects that you take up generally in Vajrayana, in Diamond Way. The first one is in Krim, which is creation stage. And this is the time when you are building the seeds to bring the divine beings to you. That's a nice way of putting it. Meaning you're building the seeds for them to come to you. Like your own, for those of you that were Depeche Mode fans, your own personal Jesus is another way of calling it, okay? You bring your own personal Buddha to you, okay? And you learn how to plant the seeds for that. So in Krim, the first thing you can do is you focus on yourself having the body, ku, the holy body of an angel, hla. So you focus on yourself using the holy body of the deity themselves. And this is a very, very powerful way to achieve shamatha. So you either focus on outer beings or yourself in that way. And we'll talk more about that later. But it's not that dissimilar from the first meditation we did today. It's actually very close. So that's the first stage. Or when you move into Sokrim, more completion stage practices, which means once you've met your personal Jesus, okay, your personal angel, they then teach you how to become like them. And so one of the practices is, and there's not enough detail here, so don't even try it, is you focus on the she of the Sanskrit letter A. And that doesn't make any sense. Why should you focus on a letter? Don't worry about it. It'll make sense later. All right. So mainly creation stage practice is about bringing the outer world into a paradise, and then completion stage practices are channel practices using the inner winds. So these different practices can help you achieve shamatha very, very quickly. So all of these, right? All of these different objects that we gave you are also loaded objects, meaning they're also loaded with a lot of good karma in them already. Whether you have the object of the teacher, or you're focusing on Shakyamuni Buddha, or you're focusing on yourself as the Buddha, or you're focusing on the mind and the workings of the mind, or when you get to Diamond Way and you start doing K-Rim and Sokrim practices. All of these practices are designed mainly to get you to a place of shamatha, so then you can apply that to understand the vipassana, to understand the wisdom side of it. Okay, they're all using virtuous objects that are loaded with a lot of good seeds. And as you move along, the objects become more and more highly seed oriented. How about that? Okay. This is why I love the Lam Rim, because it basically tells you everything you need to know. All right. And then it teases other information. Now, let me tell you something. Like, people are always asking, oh, I'm ready for Vajrayana, and I'm ready. I'm like, you're ready when you're ready. Like, don't tell me when you're ready. I don't want to be told you're ready. I want you to be having experiences that show that you're ready. And the main part of it is understanding karma and emptiness. And the more that you serve, the more that you plant good seeds, the more that you meditate, and just have that jackass persistence in your practice and maybe some joyful effort, it just starts happening to you anyway. They're just stages on the path. And if you practice well, you just hit the stages kind of automatically. Okay. Let's read the next line and then we'll finish. How about INT Alejandra Hasso? I'm just kidding, Ali. I know you're doing some other stuff. How about Mike Hoffman? You there, Mike?
Thanks. I'm here.
Yeah.
Shen Yang Shine Ki Mikpa La Kyapadang Kepadang Chepadang Nyomong Nyam Chongi Mikpa Namsu Yupale.
Nice. I don't know how you got so good so fast. Good job.
Just repeating Geshe Michael.
Okay. All right. Moreover, Shenyang, there are other objects of meditation, Shineki Mik, that you can focus on. There's four other ones. We're going to go through them. Keba. It's called the all-inclusive object. Kepa. The object of the master. Chepa. The activities object. And then the Nungmon Nam Jung. The object used for cleaning away negative emotions. There are 4 types here. So what's the point? The point is we're doing all these different types of meditation objects. And I'm just going to read the last part. And then what we're going to do in next class is I'm going to explain in detail what all 4 of these are. And maybe we'll do some meditations on those as well. So it'll take too long to read. I'll just give you the summary of the next line and then we'll read it in depth next week. The idea mainly here is that it doesn't matter what object there is within a certain scope of objects, right? Like, sure, don't focus on outer objects like a candle flame. You know, really don't focus on your breath. The breath is useful to calm the mind and reset the mind as a virtuous thing, but it's not a object that has a tremendous amount of virtue until maybe you reach a certain stage. But the idea is when you, whatever object you choose, it should be easy for you to watch in your mind. If you find it difficult to focus on the teacher in front of you as a picture, maybe focus on them as a feeling. Or if that doesn't work, focus on yourself as a Buddha. Or if that doesn't work, you know, watch your mind. Whatever it is, the idea is that whatever is the most easy for you, so you can stick your mind on that. And then you can stay on it. And it's also about excitement. Like, which one excites you the most? If you're into the object, like you're into that high school partner, the first person you were in love with, which I know all of you had that experience. Maybe it was in college, maybe it was when you were 6 years old, I don't know. But that excitement that you have for someone, you should have that same excitement for your meditation object. Okay. And you should glue your mind to that. And we'll go in that more in depth next week. Cool. I think I have a schedule next week, don't I, Ali? Oh, I'm sorry, you're correct. We do not have class next week. We have class on the 12th. And I still will be in Kyoto then. But next week we have a beautiful class with some person called Aldo. We have a class on bringing wisdom to life. And I believe this topic is correct. The next week's class is kind of cool. It's going to be meditation on death and the end of death. So it's going to be a fun class with Aldo next week. So we have next week off from LAM RIM and ACI. Thank you all for joining. I also wanted to do those meditations. And actually, when I designed this, I remember now I remember why, because we don't have class next week. Choose one of those. I just gave you 1, 2, 3, 4. I gave you 4 different objects. Take it into meditation, see which one works for you. Now you got 2 weeks. I want you to come back all meditated and blissed out. All right, cool. Have a good 2 weeks. See you all soon. And let's say goodbye to each other.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
До свидания.
Bye, Timna.
Thank you,
See
Tim.
you.
Thank you so much. That was
Thank you,
awesome.
team. It was cool as always.
Bye.
Удачи.
Thank you so much, teacher.
I love that you all say goodbye by saying thank you.
Мне нравится, что вы все прощаетесь, не говорите пока, говорите спасибо.
Thank you.
Спасибо.
Bye bye.